Dear students, good day. Let us start our session with History, Unit 1, Sources of Medieval India. In this session, we are going to learn about classification of sources of medieval India and primary sources. In the periods from AD 700 to 1200 and from AD 1200 to 1700 are classified as early medieval and later medieval periods, respectively, in Indian history. Numerous and varied sources are favorably available to the historians engaging in the study of medieval India. Let us now explore the various sources available for the study of the history of medieval India. Sources. Sources are the supporting materials, documents, or records in the form of evidence that help to reconstruct the past. Sources of medieval India are classified into two types. They are primary sources and secondary sources. Primary sources are inscriptions, monuments, and coins. Secondary sources are religious and secular literature, books, biographies and autobiographies, travelers and travelogues. Inscriptions. Inscriptions are writing engraved on solid surfaces such as rocks, stones, temple walls, and metals. The king's official orders, dedications, donations, monuments, raised in celebration of achievement in wars, those built in memory of former warriors. Various types of lands gifted by the Chola kings are known from the inscriptions and copper plates. They are Velanvahai, land of non-Brahmin landlords; Brahmadeya, land gifted to Brahmins; Salaboha, land for the maintenance of a school; Devadana, land gifted to temples; Pallichandam, land donated to Jaina institutions. Several copper plates issued to greatness people in the society to record the events. In that, both the giver and receiver were very elaborately described. The high cost of copper made palm leaf and paper cheaper alternatives for recording royal orders and events in royal court. In stone inscriptions, the contribution of a donor is recorded. The major focus is upon the giver. Tiruvalangadu plates of Rajendra Chola I and the unbuilt plates of Chundra Chola are notable examples. Uttaramerur inscriptions in Kanjipuram district provide details of the way in which the village administration was conducted. Monuments, temples, palace, mosques, tombs, forts, minars and minarets are called by the collective name monuments. Tombs. A monument to the memory of dead person raised over their burial place. The inscriptions in these monuments also gives rich information which can be used to reconstruct the history. Example for temples are Khajuraho temple in Madhya Pradesh, Konark temple in Odisha, also called Sun temple, Dilwara in Mount Abu, Rajasthan, Tanjavur temple in Tamil Nadu, Gangaikonda Cholapuram in Tamil Nadu, Dharasuram in Tamil Nadu. Mosques: Quwat ul Islam Masjid, Motki Masjid, Jama Masjid, Fatehpur Sikari Dargah, and Charminar. The forts of historical importance are Agra Fort, Chittoor Fort, Gwalior Fort, and Delhi Red Fort, as well as the forts of Daulatabad in Aurangabad, Firoz Shah Kotla in Delhi. Palaces of Rajput dynasty. Jaipur, Jaisalmer, and Jodhpur signify the greatness of the Rajput dynasty that maintains enormous power from these palaces. Qutub Minar and Alai Darwaza, the tombs of Iltutmish, Balban, and all the Mughal rulers are the other prominent structures recognized as valuable sources of information. Minas or minaret is a type of tower typically built into or adjacent to mosques. So many cities in our country are started destroying because of time. Such cities are Firozabad, Tughlakabad in North India, and Hampi in South India. Coins. The picture and the legend on the coins convey the names of kings with their titles and portraits, events, places, dates, and logos. The composition of metals in the coins gives us information on the economic condition of the empire. Mention of kings' achievements like military conquest, territorial expansion, trade links, and religious faith can also be found in the coins. Muhammad Ghori had stamped the figure of goddess Lakshmi on his gold coins and had his name inscribed on it. This coin tells us that this early Turkish invader was in all likelihood liberal in religious outlook. Copper jittals are available for the study of the period of the Delhi Sultans. Silver tanga introduced by Iltutmish, Alauddin Khalji's gold coins, Muhammad bin Tughlaq's copper token currency are indicative of coinage as well as the economic prosperity or otherwise of the country of the time. A jittals contained 3.6 grains of silver. 48 jittals were equal to 1 silver tanga. In this session, we learnt about classification of sources of medieval India and primary sources. Thank you.